Yes, g'day Tiger fans and welcome to another live edition of Richmond's official weekly podcast, Talking Tigers. Well, it was another massive week at Tigerland last week with the PM, Malcolm Turnbull, dropping in tone. He came past Punt Road and hung out with Basher Hawley, and it was fair to say that the Chief, Brenton was up and about with Malcolm in residence at Punt Road. On today's show, we talk about Tassie and the big clash with North Melbourne down there on Friday night, plus all your regular segments as always. Greeners can't wait to have another crack at the yellow and black specials. He is absolutely nailing those this year. And JB, well, he is just going to continue today to take the new club news segment to a brand new level. But boys,
can't wait for that.
Thanks for being here.
Can't wait.
Wait.
We're just not familiar with the song off the top there. What have we got
that's,
there?
Van Diemen's Land tone.
Because we're down in Van Diemen's Land.
Surely you can see the little connection there. Yeah, we're down in
very good
Hobart this week for the first ever Friday night game in Tasmania, and that is you too, obviously, singing that song off the Rattle and Hum album. And The Edge is actually singing that song, not Bono. So we thought that was a good little tune to get us underway today.
That's excellent, yeah. It's going to be, as you say, an historic occasion, isn't it?
It's going to be massive. It really is for Tassie. I mean, Tassie hasn't got their own team. Richmond's got a lot of support down there. North Melbourne playing down there, obviously. So I think they're going to break the record crowd there at Bellerive or Blundstone Arena.
So it is a sellout, I think, isn't it?
It's a sellout. I think the Hurricanes have got the record. It's nearly 20,000, but I reckon we'll give that a shake Friday night. It's going to be nice and cold too.
Oh, yes.
Well, it's cold on Saturday night, so you'll be doing well to beat that.
It's a big game too, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a big game. Yeah, no doubt.
If we can win this one, you can get back to 50-50.
Yeah, no, that's right. And look, it's obviously been good the last few weeks to get 3 in a row together. But yeah, this is obviously a massive test against the side top of the table, coming off a loss, so they'll be pretty determined. They've got a pretty good record too against us.
Now I know JB, you're in charge of Twitter, but I just want to bring one up back. Kiwi Tiger 12, which is Slowey, our man over in New Zealand. He's going to be down in Hobart. He doesn't miss a game. He flies over from New Zealand, and he has said he's going to get a ferry from the CBD across to Bellerive.
Right.
On the bay there.
Across the bay.
Well, according to your colleague Steve-O, it is on the bay, isn't it?
Yes.
Mark Stevens said it was on the bay.
Steve-O clang it up there. It's clearly a river. It's always been a river, the Derwent River, hasn't it? And
I would have thought so.
And we even had the mayor of Clarence, where Bellerive Oval is situated, give us a call on 3AW. And
just to clarify
it's definitely a river, the Derwent River.
Yes.
Hence the name River at the end of Derwent.
Correct.
Hey? Hey, and this ground, JB, in case you didn't know, this is the ground where Royce Hart and Jack Rewell played their junior footy.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Jack's old man.
Jack's old man played nearly, I think, 300 games there.
Yeah, Chris Rewell, Cabbage Rewell.
Played 300 games, and Jack played senior footy there too, because he was playing senior footy at 15 years of age for Clarence. Yeah, so
15?
15, yeah, he's playing senior footy at 15.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? Hey, one thing I want to bring up, we'll get into North Melbourne a bit later on as well, of course, but there's been an incident, Tone, on Twitter.
Really?
Twitter,
I'm not familiar with Twitter.
Well, I know, that's why I'm going to tell you.
Speaking of Twitter, hashtag Talking Tigers, if you want to get involved.
Oh, please. Well done.
That's all right.
And give us a call, 9426 4423.
Yeah, if you want
for the quiz. I missed that on the rundown. But so I was at home the other night, Tone. I'm looking at Twitter, and I'm looking at the hashtag Talking Tigers tweets that have come through.
It's fair.
And I notice at JB Berryman. JP.
Underscore.
Sorry.
Yep.
That's our man Josh here.
What's he doing?
He has taken over the hashtag Talking Tigers, and he's promoting it on his own Twitter page.
Oh, no.
He's just sabotaged and taken over hashtag Talking Tigers.
It's the sort of thing you'd expect the Chief to do.
It is.
I did not expect that Josh would be going in that path.
Now, that's what I thought of immediately. I thought, this man is starting to wobble around more than the Chief. He has taken the hashtag as his own. That's not his. Wow. That's ours.
Obviously, he's got carried away with the sting for his news segment last week. And it's completely gone to his head.
So you need to explain yourself here.
Well, I will. I'm a caricature of my former self.
You are a cartoon cutout. Yeah, that's true.
I've gone a full 180, but
so what's happened?
I just figure that the loyal listeners that we have. They get between 12 and 1 to interact with us on a Tuesday. But they do more during the week, I figured.
So you want to be involved with them all?
I'll give them some love
post the show because they give us feedback that, you know, Greener's gags were great, love getting a shout out, Richo, you're on, that sort of stuff.
And it exploded with the new club news segment last week.
Exactly right. So I just thought I'd get around the listeners.
Okay. All right.
But I did have to, because there is we must go on record and say that there's a Talking Tigers account out there, but it's not.
It's not ours.
It has nothing to do with the club.
Right. Yeah.
So, and Richmond FC is probably not, you know, that's not their medium to engage in all the time.
So this is sort of the unofficial, official one now.
Yeah.
Correct. But if they want to give me a blue tick, I'll probably take it and, you know, run with it for myself.
So he's actually probably ahead of himself almost as much as our old mate AC.
Yeah,
isn't he? Have you heard what's happened here?
Well, there was the incident on the train.
Well, our man Benny Jenkins, who works here at the club, had lunch with AC the other day.
Yeah.
And AC was
marinated artichokes, sun-dried tomatoes, and
a bit of pasta, some gnocchi, I think.
Yeah, lovely.
Okay, and AC was pumping up how he was recognised on the train as the Talking Tigers' own AC.
Yeah.
But then was disappointed when the gentleman didn't ask for his autograph, AC.
Jeez.
So AC...
Oh, come on, AC.
You are kid. You've got to
leave
let go,
it alone, mate.
We've moved on from you, AC.
Leave it alone.
So he needs to move on.
Oh, no.
Doesn't he?
He most certainly needs to move on. Yeah. He can't be doing that. Now, of course, we need to congratulate the great man, KB, one of the immortals of the Richmond Football Club, who has been is going to be the
bestowed the honour.
Going to have the massive honour of having the bronze statue out in the MCG.
Yep. What is it? The walk of Avenue of Champions.
Avenue of Champions or whatever. Anyway, so a statue, which is brilliant news, you know. But I think that he shouldn't be the only Richmond great.
Hasn't he got a grab he's meant to throw to him?
There's another Richmond great, I think, that needs to be recognised in the future.
Who?
In the very near future.
Who? Skinny Tigers?
I would have thought you could self.
Don't be
You should be right up there. We're not the only people that think this, are we?
That's ridiculous.
We're not the only people.
I'm actually not having a part of this.
Very big week for the number 29 down at Richmond this week, with the honour being bestowed on Kevin Bartlett, the next to receive a statue here at the MCG. I wonder whether our man Richo might get one, given the fact he's kicked the most goals on this ground. I've got you lined up for a statue, Richo. No issue with that at all.
Well, we don't have an issue either. So surely it's got to happen. As you say, Das is right. You kicked the most goals at the G.
It's a ridiculous,
ridiculous
to even imagine. You know what? Where I might get one. I might get a plaque in the Dunnies there at the G somewhere. That's about it.
Well, what have you done in the Dunnies there? Anyway, back to KB. Back to KB. Very worthy. And it's interesting though, because you know who was on the judging panel for that too. One of the members of the judging panel. Well, Mike Sheehan. So no wonder Mike had him as the number one Tiger that he's seen in the last 50 years, because he also...
So that means there might be 8 more statues coming, Judge Donny?
Yeah, that's a good point too.
No,
he's
on Richo.
He is.
I'm not getting him. But in all seriousness...
it's brilliant.
It had to be KB.
I wrote a story on the website a couple of years ago. We've been pushing for a fair while, so it made all the sense in the world for him, given that, you know, he's played 200 games here, five premierships, 2 other grand finals, just... You know, and
his contribution after his career to football in general.
It was like, when I wrote this, it was like the planets aligned back in '65 when we moved to the MCG and KB debuted early that season, and then from then on, it was just like it was like he knew every blade of grass on that, on the hallowed turf there, because he was just amazing on that ground.
And the pose that is bronzed has to be their 2 hands over the head.
I would have thought so.
I saw his son Rhett Bartlett on Twitter, and Rhett was suggesting that
with the comb over.
Yeah,
with the comb over. Yeah, definitely.
So, well done, Kevin Bartlett.
Yeah, no, we're rapt to see it.
Absolute legend of this footy club.
Something that caught my eye over the weekend was in the Formula One. Daniel Ricciardo was leading the Monaco Grand Prix, the Blue Riband event of the season.
I heard something disastrous happened.
Yeah, it was pretty disastrous. Well, Daniel hadn't won a race since 2014, and got pole position over the weekend. Was leading it all the way through, and looked like he was going to win for all money, because once you're in front at Monaco, you rarely get overtaken, and he goes in just for a regulation pit stop.
So it was regulation.
Yeah. So what would you need to...
A few tyres, maybe.
Yeah, some petrol, I reckon.
Yeah, a bit of petrol.
Yeah. They forgot the tyres.
Forgot the tyres?
Yes.
I can't believe that in a sport that generates billions of dollars, you can make a mistake like that.
Yeah. So, I mean,
the tyres?
It's easy to sit back home and say, pick at people's mistakes, but...
No.
Yeah, poor old Daniel in 2014.
In football terms, that is a horrendous turnover or clanger, isn't it?
Oh, doesn't come much bigger,
Yeah.
I thought.
Coach killer style. So poor old Daniel, but hopefully he gets his win on the board very soon.
I reckon someone got sacked over that.
Should have. Boned.
Bone, as Eddie Maguire would say. Hey, just before you do this, Tone.
Yes.
94264423. Give us a call when Tone asks this question.
Well, of course, given that we're playing down in Tassie this week, it will have a nice Tassie flavour to the quiz question. So the great Michael Roach, of course, premiership player and one of only 2 players in the club's history to kick 100 goals in a season.
Saw his son the other night, Tommy.
Tommy?
Yeah, the Doyen, Tommy Roach.
Tommy's teaching, doing a bit of primary school teacher. I think he's a PE teacher and he's loving it, really enjoying it. Anyway, I want to know the Tasmanian club, senior club in Tassie that Richmond recruited Michael Roach from. So the Tasmanian club that he played senior football for and that Richmond recruited him from.
There you go, 94264423 for your chance to win a TTT. And we will mention the Love Police and Brian Taranto, who provides these T-shirts for us. We've got a new box of them here.
Oh, tremendous.
So thanks, BT.
He does a super job.
So if you ever want any T-shirts, mainly involved with your favourite band or the music industry, get on to the Love Police. They've got plenty of merch there.
Yeah, I might get one. Would he do Dave D, Dozy, Beaky, Mick and Titch?
I don't know, but I know he's got Tony Joe White. He brings Tony Joe out. Yeah,
Well, maybe some U2 after the top.
Yeah, very good.
Tell you what, you mentioned it earlier, Richo, but hashtag Talking Tigers was very busy during the week.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. A lot of love for Greeners' jokes last week.
Yeah,
I reckon
there was some zingers
an
there.
inverse relation. Well, not an inverse, no. A distinct relationship between Richmond wins and the quality of the gags.
Ah,
So,
well, that being the case,
well,
Friday night we're certainties.
another one at Tigerland Tone has picked up.
That's not me.
It is not you. We might get to it a bit later in the Chief Watch segment about Malcolm Turnbull and the Chief just been in a photo together. At Footy Flog has sent in a...
At Footy Flog?
Geez, there's a few possibilities who that could be.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Might be Manfred.
They've sent in a... They've sent in what they think the Kevin Bartlett statue should look like, which...
It's a mummy.
It's a mummy from years gone by.
Could be a daddy.
Can I mention one? Can I do one?
Yeah, absolutely, Richo.
David Millett at Millety David 06. He's sent in some votes. We'll get to our votes later. He gave 3 to Dusty, 2 to Koch, and 1 to Lids.
Yeah. Oh, good.
And
he's allowed to do some votes.
Yeah, please.
Benny Cashin sent one in, which we'll definitely get to a bit later. Just saying how you're all across Dusty being the Yoyukan medalist, award winner. Sorry, long before it happened.
Well, I'm glad that our listeners have picked up on this. I'm very, very pleased that they've picked up on it. I don't want to boast them. Some of us are modest, no matter how great we are. So
absolutely. At Redhead27 has written in stoked to see Nathan Drummond back playing football, which we'll touch on.
We'll
with
talk to Manfred about that.
We sure will.
I was only joking too. Manfred's a terrific man. He's coming in for the VFL report shortly.
For sure. Simon Wallace sent you one in, Richo.
Yeah.
Is it true that in Tassie, folks leave their fridge doors open to act as a heat source?
Humour.
Some real crisp stuff there from our man Wally.
How cold will it be there?
It's going to be 4 degrees Friday night.
4 degrees? It was 3 degrees here in Melbourne.
I'm going to need Lingy's heater on the boundary.
Oh, yeah. I wonder he might wear your onesie.
Just before we go on, there was some more tweets and emails. Yes. We've got Graham from Ballarat on the line for the quiz. Tone, take it away.
Yes, Graham. How are you, mate?
Yes, good. How are you going?
Yeah, good, thanks. I want to know the Tassie club that Richmond recruited the great Michael Roach from.
Yes, Roachy was recruited from Longford.
Very good, Graham. Very, very good.
Now, Graham, Longford wear the Tigers jumpers too.
Yeah, they're the Tigers, aren't they?
Yep.
So Barry Lawrence played for Longford. Barry is Michael's related to Barry. I think it's his uncle or something. Yeah.
Hey, Graham, can we win Friday night against North in Hobart?
Oh, absolutely. There's revenge on the boys' minds, I think, and they'll be coming like that big win.
Well, it'll be great.
Hey, Graham, thanks for calling
on you, Graham.
in. Give us an email, mate, talkingtigers@richmondfc.com.au, and JB will send out your T-shirt.
No, boys, go the Tigers.
Thanks, bro.
Good on you, Graham.
Cheers, Graham.
Our man the tail, who loves hashtag Talking Tigers, just mentioning if Richo gets his statue, maybe the Chief will have to demand one as well. So,
oh yeah.
Thanks for sending
he imagine that. If
He'd dirty up, wouldn't he?
He would.
He accepted KB, but he wouldn't accept anyone else.
No, I reckon if you got one ahead of him, he'd be organising some pigeons to do a few droppings on it.
Now the emails have gone mad.
You've got mail.
During the
Sorry,
week
JB.
as well. Start with a short one off the top from Keith Upton. Keith's gone, I've heard you've had to widen the door to the TT studios this week to fit Greeners' head through.
Ooh.
After his yellow and black book specials have just been on the money.
Well, we'll get to that, but it's some of my finest work. I'm in red hot form.
I hope you're right with this week's one. We won't give it away yet.
Okay. All right.
Paul Cullen's emailed in saying, g'day Greeners, Richo, JB and the other TT luminaries.
Sconzy.
That's right. He's got a great story about Airman...
M&D.
The kick after the siren hero from Deniliquin via Frankston, Sammy Lloyd.
Yeah.
Just that Paul was out on Saturday morning picking up some takeaway where Sammy was there and...
Sammy was getting, some maggers?
Oh, no, we don't mention where he was at.
Oh, no, I don't know where it was. I'm just throwing that in.
Lloydie would not be eating Maccas.
But
I don't think you can get Chinese takeaway in the morning, can you?
Probably not.
No.
But Paul just wanted to mention how great it was that Sammy took the time to have a chat to him on game day. And
that's great.
That's great. One I did receive on Saturday night.
As he stuffed
pretty
down
much
his
just whatever he's doing, it is working. So long may it continue, Sam.
Yeah.
I got an email Saturday night straight after the siren from a story from a man involved in a story you might have mentioned last year down in Hobart, AC. You might have picked up at the time. My cab driver.
Yeah, your cab driver. Yeah.
Titled Lee, the Hobart cabbie.
Yes,
so it's good to hear
he loves
from
talking
people.
Tigers. Lee.
He does. And he starts off with since I did such a brilliant job driving JB around last year, which he's mentioned himself. I think it's only fair that I could now be considered myself the official driver of the TTT.
So he's going to chauffeur you around?
We're going to call him the official driver.
Official TT driver.
So JB, Richo, Greeners, even Sconners, give us a call and I'll help you guys out with anything.
Okay. That's for this weekend. Can you give me a lift home from here?
Well, no, down in Tassie, in Hobart.
It's Lee, isn't it? Lee?
Yeah, Lee.
Lee, I don't do calves.
Wow, can I just say, myself and Sconners will be down there looking for a cat.
You are a uber imbecile.
He's also gone...
I only step into the black limousine style.
He's gone on to say that he heard...
He's not joking either, JB.
He heard us mentioning the possibility of an OB last week.
Yeah.
He'd like to get us down into Hobart, into his lounge room.
For an OB?
For an OB. There's heaps of room. And some of Richo's old mates can drop in as guests. Anyway,
it's something to think about.
We were thinking more of North Queensland Cairns trip again, weren't we?
I think we're thinking an overseas one in August.
Around the Olympics.
Around the Olympics. It might be related to that. Anyway, that's where we're going.
Thanks
I don't want to spoil it, jump the gun with that. Yeah.
Thanks for the email, Lee, and we'll catch up over the weekend.
Beautiful.
Yeah, tremendous.
Oh, gee, it was a big week last week for the Chief. The Prime Minister, Malcolm Turnbull, was at the club, as I mentioned, in the opener. And I'm going to tie all this together because one of our former teammates was involved in the footy on Friday night, Ray Hall.
Ray's a Ray.
Yeah, but I just want to throw to this grab from the Channel 7 commentary on Saturday night first.
There's the Richmond CEO, Benny Garland, next to him there. That's Ray Hall, former Richmond player, big Razor, who's a diplomat now.
Big Ray, he's over in Jordan, I think, working in...
He's a diplomat.
Yeah, he is. There you go, Big Ray Hall. I haven't seen him for a long while. Good on him. What a great story that is.
We always thought he was pretty smart, Ray Hall, and sort of guessed Benny wouldn't have a mechanic sitting next to him.
Well, BT's spot on. Brenton doesn't associate with anyone.
Just the common man.
Yeah, most people would have looked at that and thought, how good's that, seeing Ray Hall, who incidentally is a diplomat. He works for the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade in Amman in Jordan.
I didn't recognise, lost all his hair.
Yeah, he's a very, very smart man, Ray.
Always was. Lovely bloke.
He's basically a spy over there in Amman. No, he is.
A spy?
Yeah, he is. He's an extremely intelligent man. Now, you might have... So I've blown his cover. But you would have looked at that, Greeners, wouldn't you, and seen the Chief sitting next to...
I thought it was wonderful. Really, really nice.
So you would have thought it was warm and fuzzy,
exactly what I thought.
You know, Brenton catching up with a former teammate, JP.
Embracing former players. And
Now, Ray thought that as well, obviously, but we can take this back during the week when Malcolm Turnbull was at the club.
PM.
Yeah, the PM. Now, we can take it back, and Brendan knew that Ray was coming, obviously, as a guest to the club on Saturday night to Dreamtime. You know what Brendan was overheard saying to Malcolm Turnbull?
I hate to think.
Because Ray is more important than Brendan, he basically was telling Malcolm that Ray wasn't doing a good job and he should be relieved of his duties over there.
He wants the gig.
He just wants Ray boned out of the gig because Ray's more important than him.
So he doesn't necessarily want the gig.
No.
He just doesn't want Ray to expose.
He just doesn't want
there.
another Richmond person being basically more important than him. So he tried to have Ray Hall sacked from the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade.
Boned by the PM.
Boned.
Oh.
Yeah. That's extraordinary.
How did Malcolm, the Prime Minister, take that?
Well, I think he sort of said Ray's doing a good job.
I don't think we've heard the end of this, have we?
So Malcolm didn't listen to Brendan, and so that's Chief Watch for this week. Tried to have Ray Hall sacked.
No.
Yep.
That is absolutely extraordinary.
It is.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Speaking of extraordinary.
There it is.
The excitement is palpable, isn't it? Really?
I can't take it anymore.
Wow. It's turned,
hang on, I have to have a sip of water.
it's turned club news on its head. It's fair to say. It has been fielding requests all week. I got a hashtag Talking Tigers last week at Shane Dunn AU, who I didn't put him up to this. How's JB's banger club news sting? Was on the way home from the members' cocktail party. I had to turn the Jeep around and straight to Club 23. So it's inspiring people. I mean, we'll give a few shout-outs to Julio at CQ and Dale and Danny at Spy Lounge. They're calling me up, finding where they can get a copy of this because the DJs have been inundated with requests. So
Club news.
Anyway, on to the club news because now it's getting silly.
I think Havana Brown wants it too.
Oh, Havana.
Now, the club news.
Club.
Here we go. I will. Yeah. The Dreamtime Guernsey auction.
Yep.
You would have seen the fantastic design out on the
fantastic.
Players last Saturday night. So
Joe was signing a few of those before.
They're up for auction. So.
You didn't play?
No, I know.
Oh, okay.
all the club profits go to the Coringamagi Institute here at Punt Road Oval. So a great cause there. shop.richmondfc.com.au/auctions there. Now the trip down to Hobart. There's a few things on. Open training first of all. This Thursday, 3:30 p.m. at Blundstone Arena. So get down there to see the boys.
The
and
sun would have set by then. Oh yeah, she'd be cold.
She'd be cold for sure.
Bring your onesies, I reckon.
Tiger onesies.
Yeah, absolutely. And the players will be available for a few photos and autographs after the session. 3:30 p.m. this Thursday.
Beautiful.
Entry via the Western Gate. Now, I got an email as well during the week from Jess Benson.
Yes.
Wanting to be involved in the club news. So people are emailing through to
Jess is a loyal listener.
Tassie. She'll be there with her dad, front row with the cheer squad this week.
Beautiful.
The Richmond FC Hobart Supporters Group are hosting a post-game function afterwards with the Flea will be down there involved.
Is he back from Manila, Flea?
Yeah, Manila to Hobart. So
beautiful. Wow.
That will be post-game this Friday night at the Waratah Hotel.
I know that. Good place, yeah.
Is it?
Yep.
Not far from the venue.
So all Tiger fans in Hobart can get to the Waratah after the game.
Good cannery there?
Yep, my word, you can.
So there'll be, as long as the Flea, a few ex-players involved and auction items, raffle prizes. And you mentioned before that it is close to a sellout this Friday night. So if you still want to get involved and get a premium reserve seat, ticket to the game and a pre-game function, Richmond will be having one pre-game as well in Bellreeve. So just call the club and speak to our man Gav and he'll sort you out there. Not Sconners, Gav Moore. So,
okay.
So you can still get tickets.
You can still get tickets via the pre-game club function.
Beautiful. I think the Chief's speaking at the function.
That is correct.
Yeah,
that's correct.
Yeah,
So
he's actually.
Is that right?
He is speaking to that group, is it?
Yes, that group.
So there you go. If you buy a ticket there, you can hear Brenton pump himself up before the game.
He's a bit flat as well, not just with Razor though.
Why?
Well, I think he wanted the game called up. He wanted to be played for the Brendan Gale Cup. He was a bit flat when he found out it was going to be the Trent Nichols Cup. Really
Tassie Nichols from Hobart, Tassie.
So a seat to the at the game, and you hear from the chief.
Yeah.
So fantastic.
What more would you want?
Now the all-important injury list for this week.
How come the injury list hasn't got a sting?
No,
Is it part of news?
Let's include it in
It's
the
sort of
news.
part of the news.
The show will go for 2 hours.
What about if you come up with Doctor, give me the news?
We can't have everything.
Okay.
Bad Medicine by Bon Jovi.
Ooh.
Anyway,
he's got a few lined up.
I think he wants one.
He does. Just make the Twitter account just,
I'm just going to
really take off.
Say right here, right now, there'll be no medical room sting. So just get onto it.
Come on.
Troy Chaplin with the hip missed last week's game, so he'll face a test for this week.
Might be needed this week with the tools for North.
3 tools. Bashahuli, Camden McIntosh just getting a week closer on their respective injuries. And the news we released last week about Chris Yarran having indefinite leave from the club with mental health issues.
And we wish,
we wish Chris all the best.
And Reece as well, Reece McKenzie. So.
Okay,
we wish them both all the
And
best.
There's been a few people writing in.
Manfred Brenton's just walked in.
So we'll get to that one quickly. Ben Lennon, we'll get an update on him during the week, but he was out there training today, so we'll see where that's at sometime this week. And here's our man.
Looking very dapper too.
It's time to welcome into the studio for the VFL report, the one and only Brenton Manfred man. How are you, mate?
I'm good, Richo. How are you?
Fresh off the bye?
Very fresh. Had the nice weekend off, very relaxing.
What did you do on your weekend off?
Did the right thing, Tone. Spent a bit of time with the better half.
Oh, yeah.
Did a little bit of work as well, but watched the Tigers against Freo on Saturday night.
Beautiful. Now, a sting. Have you come up with a sting this week?
I did come up with a sting. It was Blondie.
Yeah.
Dreaming.
All right, hit it, Scones.
When I start making love, I don't just make love, I be stroking. That's what I be
Doesn't
doing.
sound like Blondie to me.
No, I did wonder when the sting didn't come on early that we might have a little stitch up here. It's coming up. It's a weekly occurrence, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a little. I think you're catching on. But, we're stitching you up weekly, Manfred.
Right.
Who is that, by the way? There is a reason we've got this.
It's Clarence.
It's Clarence.
Clarence, because we're playing at Clarence's home ground.
Playing down at Clarence this week.
Segue.
Brenton.
But
it does. It's got a lot of you about it, that song.
It's a lot of your weekend on the bye, I think.
Yeah.
Well, no, we'll just keep that. Keep that off air.
Anyway, how did the VFL team unfortunately got beaten again, but it was a low-scoring affair.
It was a low-scoring, dour affair with icy conditions on Saturday night. It was a 23-point loss to Essendon. Now, it was 2 points at three-quarter time, but Essendon just ran away with it with 4-1 in the final 20 minutes. But it was a very improved display, seeing as they pumped us by 77 points in the pre-season. And Fly was happy with the side's ability to defend the majority of the day, but just missed opportunities cost us in the end. We were 26% goal kicking accuracy.
Really? Yeah.
Is that on the set shots or overall?
That's overall. 0 goal 6 to start the first term. So if you kick those, we're well and truly in the game, but unfortunately missed opportunities cost us.
So who were the better performers on the day? Reece Conker got the award, didn't he, for BOG?
He got Caden Player of the Day.
Yep.
And he had 26 disposals, 8 tackles, 7 clearances, and 4 centre clearances, and he was by far and above the best midfielder on the ground.
That's great news. And obviously, he's he wouldn't be far away. He might need another 1 or 2 maybe, but it's a great sign.
He's had 2 really good performances. His speed's there, bursting from stoppages. He's not hindered by that hamstring at all. He'd be right in contention probably the next 2 or 3 weeks.
That's good to hear, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, who else sort of stood out?
Liam McBean. In a new role for him, he was playing higher up the ground, not as deep inside 50. He had 16 disposals, 10 marks, and 4 contested marks, which was a main focus going into the game. In the pre-season, they thumped us in contested marks, 18-3. Now we reversed that we were +7 in contested marks this week, and McBean took 4, and Ivan Maric took another 4 as well. So,
I
want to ask about Nathan Drummond. First game back.
Drummer, of course.
It was a great story. It's been well publicised, 13 months out, and he was fantastic. He played the first half. He was a little bit nervous to start with, but really came into the game, especially in the second quarter. He finished with 14 disposals, 5 marks, and 3 inside 50s.
In a half of
football. And
that's good.
He was strong and classy, in tight. He's a really good decision maker, and I was really impressed with what he brought first up.
And you got a good little interview with him on the website.
I did. Went to wait around for him to do some rehab and that after the game, but he was really good
What's
for
up
us.
there now to have a look at? Yeah.
And Avar Maric, you just mentioned before, how did he go in his all-round game?
It's probably his best game in the VFL this year. He had 29 hit-outs, kicked a goal, had 15 disposals, 4 tackles and 3 clearances, but he was really strong and provided a presence up the line, which we really lacked early in our game early against Essendon in the pre-season. So Fly was extremely happy with him. And yeah, he's ready there waiting to see maybe if he gets opportunity at AFL level.
What about we've got obviously a few vacancies for to upgrade rookies. How did the rookie list players go?
Probably Adam Markham was a bit quiet on his usual output.
Maybe your child played back, didn't he?
He did. Thank you for that, Tony.
No, anytime.
Just steering me in that way. And maybe your child was very good, especially early. He probably had, I think, maybe 4 or 5 intercept marks in the first half. Finished with 15 disposals, 8 marks, and was great in the key back.
Well, I guess the other rookie is Cal Moore. How he backed up his performance the week before.
Started like a house on fire. Cal Moore had 3 shots on goal in the first 10 minutes. Took 2 contested marks, but unfortunately 0 goals, 3, and he just probably drifted out of the game in the second half. But he looks really promising up forward.
When you say that, I keep thinking of Kelvin Moore every time you say it. Kel Moore, what a great man he is. Yeah. Hey, just back onto Chol, I think it's fantastic for his development to go and play down back. It is a little bit easier, and you get a good look at the game down there. I think that'll be a positive in the long term playing down back.
It was from Dimmer, came from Dimmer, that decision. So it was really based around increasing his work rate, which you have to do as a defender, and you've got to be switched on the whole time. So he was fantastic. I was really impressed with him. As he fatigued, his concentration, he had lapses here and there, but as an overall, it was very pleasing.
And a couple of Nathan Broad?
He was very solid again. Broady, he had 19 disposals, 6 marks between wing and defence.
Okay.
Now, he's putting together a really good, solid blocker performance. So he's ready there waiting. I believe he's been emergency a couple of times at AFL level. So if he's called upon, he'll be ready to go.
Jacob Townsend?
Solid. Solid without being fantastic. I believe Andrew McGold described his game as a bit vanilla. So he was he had a job on hams from Essendon. He did the job against Richmond against North Ballarat. Had hams this week. A couple of concentration lapses, let hams off the leash a little bit, but he was solid in the contest. Started really well, but just drifted out a little bit.
Okay. And another one who came back into the side was Todd Elton. Played a bit of a different role, I believe, for the VFL side up forward.
He played forward, started well, kicked 1 goal, kicked our first goal, but again, his positioning up forward was something he needs to work on in the coming weeks.
So what do we got this week? Where do we head to?
We head to Piranha Park, Coburg.
That's the televised game.
What's
Sunday.
it called? Piranha?
Piranha Park.
You think there's something fishy about that, do you?
I do. I've never heard it. Was it always called Piranha?
I don't believe it's always been called Piranha.
I don't think it was in the 1800s, no.
I think it used to be Coburg City Oval,
Skinny Titus was playing it.
I don't think when Skinny was out there it was.
Skinny played at Coburg.
My word, he did. That's very good.
Well, we know that ground pretty well, obviously.
So what time is that game?
11:40 a.m. on Sunday.
11:40 on
ABC game?
No. Mate. What are you talking about? You work there. Oh, no. Wait till I hear about that.
Straight after game day into the
Roscoe booth.
Can we record this again?
I think we'll need to.
I can't believe I just said that.
Richard might be out of a job next week.
I think he might.
I apologise to Channel 7. Hopefully they keep me on board next year. Thanks for that, Manfred.
Good on you, Manfred.
No worries, boys.
Next week we might let you play your own sting.
Oh, thanks, boys.
I doubt it.
I put a lot of work into that.
I know you did. Now, Tone, if you're still living at home where Mum barracks for Carlton and Dad thinks you're born to mow the lawn...
She wouldn't be my mum if she barracked for Carlton.
I think it's time you found your own place. In fact, you should move out on your own.
It's not a bad idea.
You don't like human beings.
It's not a bad idea at all.
Save $27 a day and you can do it. Our valued sponsor, Caden, can kickstart you into your new apartment with $15,000 towards your deposit.
15,000?
15 large, Tone.
Wow.
This is all up front. They don't load the money into the price and there are terms and conditions, but no catches or hitches. Caden.com.au/kickstart will give you all the ins and outs, Tone.
I need a good kickstart.
We better have a look at the Essendon game now, boys. What do you make of it all?
Yeah, good, solid
I
win.
thought it was just a solid win.
Oh, solid professional win. They challenged a few times, but we had the game under control, I think, and throughout. And I think
Got
regulation 38-point win.
Got the job done.
Yeah, got the
I
job
think
done.
so. I think, without any injuries or having to exert too much, without any disrespect to anybody, it's just a job done.
A workman-like win. I think Dimmer said it after the game. They got things to work on. They weren't 100% happy with it, but
But in terms of leading up to a big Friday night game against North Melbourne this week with the
momentum,
just a short travel, I think it's the perfect game to set it up.
Yeah. We had a couple of good calls. Kicked 6 goals in first and third quarters. Yeah. 6 goals apiece in both those
probably
quarters.
some good calls. The first 10 minutes of the last, I thought maybe we'd relaxed a little bit and then switched back on and got the job done in the end. But 3 wins in a row, confidence building and heading into a massive, almost the most important game of the year this week coming up.
Yeah, it is.
I think.
It is huge.
I think a good sign out of the Essendon game going into this week were goals from the midfield as well. Multiple goals from Delidio, who plays a bit forward, but
Cochin too.
Yeah, Cochin as well. Grigor getting a couple of goals each, so I think that was a good sign out of it.
Got one, I think. I was actually really pleased with that. That was great, but also the other end of the ground, I thought our back line really starting to gel well together. Jack Batchelor had 20 disposals, made a couple of blues, but I thought he was really good. He took the game on. So season high 20 disposals. Grimes, he's been really good, building up to that sort of form, and I thought he was really
crucial,
good.
Grimesy.
Yeah, well, just running. Also, his ability. He's always been very good defensively, but he's also trying to initiate attack from the back half too. So
Steve Morris as well.
And Morris
back into the pack. What was your read on that? Because I know Lingy was saying on Saturday night
I know what Lingy was saying, but I think if he had another look at a different camera angle, I think his eyes
trying to
were
spoil the ball.
And it led to a goal down the other end. So I think it was great.
Would it be? I reckon Steve Morris is nearly playing as well as he ever has.
Mate, I reckon he's right back to that form that he showed in his first couple of years here.
That's great. Courageous.
Full credit to him.
Getting a bit of the football again.
He's attacking. He's taking the game on as well. So I think he's got a really good
big job this week too. So.
Can I lead the votes off?
Oh, please, mate. Please.
I think it was clear. I think Dusty Martin was clearly best on ground. I gave him the 3 votes. He is playing as a true inside mid now. Not quite kicking the goals he has in the past, but playing more in the midfield, contested possession, clearances again. Thought he was great. Koch continued his good form from last week. I gave him 2 because he kicked 2 goals, very important midfield goals. And Brett Delidio really starting now to get back to his form of last year when he was All-Australian. I gave him 1.
Nice. Dustin Martin, 3 votes, clearly the best on ground, and for all the reasons you mentioned as well. 2 votes I gave to Sean Grigg. I thought he was important very early as well, getting a couple of goals and driving forward and tackling.
Consistent player, Grigg, isn't he?
Yeah,
absolutely.
He really is.
He arrived at the club.
My word.
You know what you're going to get.
Yep. And 1 vote to Brett Delidio, 3 goals, and the performance he put on, I thought he was really good as well. So
he had the guns oiled up too, didn't he?
Oh, didn't he?
He's going to have to oil them up this Friday night.
Or he might just said he might wear 3 long sleeves.
Yeah, he might need them.
Yeah. I gave 3, of course, to Dusty for all the reasons mentioned. 2 to Lids. His first quarter really set us alight. I think he had 10 disposals in the first quarter and a goal. And 1 to the skipper, Trent Cochin, who I think he had the most metres gained. I think certainly
he did
on the night, and kicked 2, so hit the scoreboard as well. Got plenty of it, and just in really good form at the minute.
Okay, so the leaderboard, Dusty has jumped away now to a 10-vote lead. He's on 43. I don't think you could argue with that. He's having a good year.
Don't argue.
Terrific month.
Very good. Don't argue.
See that?
Boom, boom.
Didn't mean to do it.
No, I know. That's when you're at your funniest. Because as soon as you contrive it, you're not funny.
Yeah, no, true. Very true. Yeah, you won't get a ride home today. 33, Trent Cochin. 17, Jack Rewalt. 14 to Ranson Miles.
I'll get your cab driver to give me a lift home.
Yep. Len. Scones is starting to get a bit impatient. He's had enough today.
Now, before I start gloating, right, I just want to... this is a bit of an off-field yellow and black special, right? Blackpool special. To Sue and Michelle, who run the social club here, right? They have their own catering and event management, absolutely delicious. They have been part of the furniture here at Tigerland
ever since I've been involved.
For more than 20 years. And they do a mighty job. Okay, mighty job. So if you want something,
done,
just to pump up for them.
Have a function up here in the Morris Rioli
Brilliant,
room.
yeah. So it's absolutely
have your 21st,
delicious.
have your 40th.
Yeah. My daughter's going to have her 21st here. But absolutely delicious.com.au because they are great people, great Richmond people, and they will really
and you
look
won't be
after you.
disappointed with your function.
No, and it's just that they don't, and they've never sought any sort of publicity or whatever, so I thought it's about time we go a bit, Tom.
Well,
anyway.
Fantastic.
Now, I don't want to pump myself up too much, right?
You do.
Some of us are modest no matter how great we are, but it has not gone unnoticed by our listenership, right, of what I came up with last week. I've nailed every one, but last week I took the Yellow and Black Book specials to a level that has never been seen or heard before. I don't want to keep boasting about how I'm going with this.
You do, though.
Well, I have to, because I really am nailing this.
You are.
Look who I had last week, Sean Hampson. And look how he responded.
Yeah.
Another top-class
It was
performance in the ruck.
It was hardly a big call going with Hampson.
I reckon it was. To put him as your black booker, yellow black booker, but he just so. Do you want to go with this again?
All right.
I'm going for Dusty, but I've got a layer.
Oh, come
on. I'm going with Dusty to win his inaugural Yayukin Award. He's never won the Yayukin. Lids has, Koch has, Brandon Ellis won it last year.
Jack won it?
Jack hasn't won one either, but I'm going for Dusty to win the Yayukin. What more can you say?
No,
it's just brilliant.
It was hardly. I still don't think it was a big call.
Oh, come on.
It was a good call.
You had the opportunity.
You put a layer
Thanks,
on it
JB.
and you delivered. And
Thanks.
you're cutting your own audio
Dustin
too,
Martin.
which is great.
Thanks, Connor.
Dustin Martin was always going to have another good game. He's in rare
was he
form.
really?
Yeah.
Well, but I've actually stated that he'd win the Yayukin, and he did.
Well, what are you going to do
and
this
he
week?
was chuffed to win
Who are
it
you going to
too.
run into form this week?
Well, Jack's been pestering me for weeks, so I have to go with him. But there is a layer. So Jack's playing on his home ground, where he knows every blade of grass on that Clarence's home ground.
Belreeve Oval. I call it Belreeve.
Belreeve, whatever. Okay. I am tipping him to kick a bag.
How many?
5. Well, 4's the most he's kicked all season. He had a very good season. 4's the most he's kicked in a game all season. I'm tipping him to better that.
Well, I hope you're right again.
Yeah.
I hope you know it. Can I jump in?
Please.
Yes.
I don't want to pump myself up either, but
But
before we get on to the yellow and blackers,
yeah.
we're talking about Belreeve Oval. I towed up Billy Brownless's brother there one day, Blair Brownless.
How many did you kick?
Towed him up.
How many did you kick?
Got the 3 William Leach medal votes in the Tasmanian equivalent of the Brownlow.
Well, what were your stats? You've got them there. You wrote them down there.
Just another dozen marks, Tone. Plucked 12 from the sky. Hey, now I went with Daniel Rioli last week.
He couldn't play, could he?
Hey?
He couldn't
Blair
play.
Brownless was a good player. Yeah,
not
he
after
was.
you destroyed him.
He was a very good player, Blair Brownless. So
Right.
I went with Daniel Rioli last week. Probably his first game after a little spell.
Nice little tap on to Jack.
Yeah. So look,
Basically, you failed with that last week.
No, but he's going.
He's going fine,
developing
but-
beautifully.
yeah.
So I'm going to have a real crack this week.
Yeah.
I'm going to add a real layer to this week. I'm going for
It's a
Alex
big layer.
Rance.
Oh, no.
I'm going with Alex Rance.
Oh, yeah,
He
go
will
on.
hold Jared Waite goalless.
See, I don't like that sort of stuff. I don't like it when you do stuff
You're
like
starting
that.
to tempt.
No, because remember when you had Dusty for about 8 weeks in a row, kicking multiple goals, and he didn't kick a goal?
He's
played well. You haven't got, not got one.
this year.
I know. I fear for Rancy. I fear for him. He
I hope
might
I'm
not
right.
play now, Rancy. He might say, there's no point in me playing.
I hope I'm right.
I hope you're right too.
I hope you're right.
What are you doing, JB?
Well, last week we got down here, Jack, but I think I changed at the last minute to double up on Corey Ellis.
That's after because you had Corey Ellis the week before and he never played.
He was general soreness.
Yep.
Last week he came back into the side. He did
was
all
all
right,
right.
14 touches,
Yeah, he was all right.
close to 100% efficiency, if not.
Uses it very well.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember, but off the top of my head, because I was paying very close
Oh, you
attention to
would have
Corey's
been. Yeah.
kick out to Jake Batchelor.
Yes, I
Just
do remember that.
in the boundary line. But anyway,
So what are you doing?
I need a big win. I'm going for Anthony Miles
Milesy.
this
I like
week.
it.
No layers, just getting the job done. Last time out at Blundstone Arena, Belreeve, he was our only real shining light in a pretty dark day. He had 30 touches and 2 goals, so
right.
I would like to see him do similar this week.
Send us in your yellow and blacks, hashtag Talking Tigers.
Yes.
Hey, Tone, can you be relatively quick. Dimmer's waiting to do the dissection.
Relatively quick. All right, okay. All right. Well, what I'll do is I'll just list it's a team of Tassie Tigers, right?
Okay,
and I will challenge any other club, AFL club out there, to come up with a team of Tasmanian players that have played for them that is better than this. It's a
pretty good team.
From the back line, Chris Bond, Grant Alford and Daryl Sutton, who also play for North.
Good.
Halfbacks, Cameron Clayton, Stephen Mountain, Ben Harrison.
Good.
Your good mate.
Yeah.
Centres, Michael Gale, Ian Stewart and Shane Williams.
Good centre line.
What about this half-forward line? Jack Rewald, I have to play him on the flank, Royce Hart and Matthew Richardson. What a forward line. Rewald, Royce and Richo. Forwards, Trent Nichols, who also played for North, Michael Roach and Justin Plapp.
It is a pretty solid forward line, isn't it?
Yeah, if you say so yourself.
No, I'm not talking about No, I'm not. I'm talking about Royce
No, it's a
and
beauty.
Jack
It's
and
a beauty. You'd love to play alongside Royce there, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
The rucks, Brendan Gale, the chief, of course, who'll have to do most of the ruck duties. You could probably change a bit with Roachy, give him a chop out. Paul Sproul, who was a gun, and Noel Carter.
Yep.
And the interchange, Mark McQueen, Jeremy Weberley, Gary Davidson and Tom Hislop. That is a very, very good side.
Good team.
Good team.
Now, Tone,
Tick them off.
don't go with that library one.
Can't go with that one. No, definitely not. Guinness Book of Records.
No, don't
no.
go.
All right, okay. Yeah, because the pressure's on. Because if the gags are good, it's a good omen, isn't it?
Great
supposedly.
omen.
All right, hopefully. A mate of mine started a band called 999 Megabytes. Yeah, they haven't got a gig yet. What do you call a woman who is very conceited? A very conceited woman.
I'm not too sure.
Mimi. What?
No, Muttley.
No, Muttley there. Did you know there is a special species of bird that is really good at holding stuff together?
Yeah?
Yeah, they're called velcros.
I love the new laugh tag.
No, I can't go with that one.
You been
No, I can't go with that one either. My wife and I, my wife Jenny, wife Jenny, and I went to candlelit dinner for the first time the other night. Yeah, it was bloody awful. It was shocking. Well, everything was really undercooked and tasted of wax. And I used to be in a band too. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah.
What'd you play?
Well, we were called Lost Dog. Yeah, right. You probably would have seen our posters around.
No. One more quick.
One more? Okay. A man noted for telling puns was locked into a dark closet and told he would not be released until he made up a pun about the situation. He immediately shouted, "Oh, pun the door."
Oh, no. I'm worried about this week.
It's not a good omen.
Oh, no. No, we'll be right. There was some zingers there. Yeah, we'll be right.
No, that's it.
That's it.
That's another week of Talking Tigers. Get involved with an email, talkingtigers@richmondfc.com.au. Massive game in Hobart. First ever Friday night game.
Get behind the Tigs.
Down in Hobart. Come on, Tigers. We'll see you next week. Or we won't see you, but you can listen to us. All right?